Thank you for joining us this midday. I'm Kara Sewell. An aggressive wildfire burning in Palo Pinto County as fire crews work to protect structures near that area. The Ross fire growing 10,000 acres in a matter of 4 hours overnight and then doubling in size since early this morning. We have a live look this midday that we have been showing you from our chopper out in Palo Pinto County. I want you to look at this massive plumes of smoke here and the damage you can see. At this point, again, we had mentioned the latest update was about 50,000 acres and only 5% contained. That's from the Forest Service map that we've been looking at to give you an idea of just how quickly this fire is growing. It sparked just before 3 o'clock yesterday, and we have footage of this. You can see how massive these flames are from the ground. By midnight, it grew to 15,000 acres, 25,000 acres by 4 o'clock this morning, and here we are at 11:30 at about 50,000 acres. That was before 7 o'clock this morning. And joining us on the phone right now with more on the current conditions is Laura Stevens with the Texas A&M Forest Service. Thanks for taking your time to be with us this midday. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So we're monitoring wildfires. We clearly know that you all are. There is a real fire danger. What details can you give us about the Ross fire in Palo Pinto County right now that our viewers need to know about?
So the Ross fire ignited yesterday, like you mentioned, on August 24th under hot, dry conditions. The fire exhibited extreme fire behavior throughout the afternoon and overnight, prompting local officials to close roadways and issue voluntary evacuations. This is a complex and rapidly evolving situation. The priority during every wildfire is safety of the public and first responders. During a high-impact event characterized by extreme fire danger and rapid growth, the firefighters are prioritizing life, safety, and property structure, and while working on establishing a containment line when conditions safely allow.
Okay, so right now we're showing some images from yesterday. We're also showing a live picture right now. You mentioned that this was an extreme fire pattern, so obviously very aggressive. Do you know any details about how it started?
The cause of the fire is under investigation.
Okay, and so we're looking right now at some live pictures of flames. We're also looking at quite a bit of smoke. At this point right now, what are we hearing from when it comes to asking people to leave? I know you mentioned the safety, obviously, of crews and people who are in the nearby areas. Have you talked or heard about anyone who's had to leave?
So anyone that is in the surrounding area, please make sure that you are listening to the Palo Pinto County Sheriff's, the Jax County Sheriff's Office, the emergency management, and making sure you're listening to the local authorities on that one, and making sure you're following any evacuations, voluntary or mandatory, that they are issuing.
I'm trying to remember the exact language you used because I'm looking at the video and we're talking, and it really just, I want to kind of address the fact that this has grown so quickly, so fast. Just, Laura, from talking to different firefighters and having, had some experience and insight on monitoring these things, how quickly can things change? And compared to other fires, what is this one specifically? Is it moving more rapidly? Can you give us any sort of insight on that?
So fires are, each individual fire is their own, and there's a lot of factors that go into whether the fire is growing, what direction. So you have to look at the vegetation type, the terrain, you have to look at the weather overall. So that is going to influence the direction and the impact of the fire in the particular area. As we know, Texas is a really large state, so every fire in every part of the state is very different.
Okay, so another fire we're monitoring in Jack County. Do you know of any type of progress crews have made in knocking that one out?
The Ross fire has burned into Jack County. So are you looking at the same information?
No, I'm looking at, there's another fire apparently burning in Jack County. Do you have any information about that one?
I do not have any information on this particular fire that you're talking about, but the Ross fire has burned from Palo Pinto County, has burned into Jack County, into the southern part of Jack County.
I see. Okay. Thanks for the clarification there. Any advice for people? Just a reminder about how dangerous the conditions are right now when it comes to trying to help prevent another fire.
So everyone needs to be mindful of their actions inside, outside, whether they're working with heavy equipment, they're driving their vehicle. the conditions outside are very hot and very dry, and so one small spark could cause a wildfire. So if you are driving your vehicle, make sure that your vehicle's in good, proper working order, making sure you're not pulling off onto the side of the roadway into tall, dry grass, and then making sure that if you're out utilizing heavy equipment, that the heavy equipment is clean of debris, and so that the heat from the engine and the components aren't heating and causing the dry debris to ignite.
All right, Laura Stevens, I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. Thanks so much for the insight and the perspective for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's get back over to Mariela Louise right now with more on the fire risk in North Texas. Again, we're showing you that live picture and just the impacts right now we're seeing. I mean, you heard her say that every fire is its own fire. And this one particularly so, they're having a hard time getting containment.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Kara, I mean, that's just the case. I mean, we've been talking about this map for quite some time. We've been talking about the dangers of prolonged periods of rain-free conditions and high heat, like what we saw in August. So during this month, we have seen consistent triple-digit heat days. Only 4 days this month we have spent with temperatures in the upper 90s. And that, whenever you factor in the high temperatures, whenever you take the average, we're looking at a top 5 hottest August on record. On top of that, we've had rain-free conditions. I mean, we've had a storm pop up here and there over the last few weeks, but we've only picked up a trace of rain at DFW specifically during the month of August. The last time we had measurable rainfall was over 1.25 inches. That was in July 13th specifically, which is over 40 days ago. So whenever we are looking at our fire danger forecast, maps like this show us very high to extreme fire weather conditions. It just means that fires can start very easily and spread very quickly, which is why almost every county in North Texas is under a burn ban. And we do still see the triple digits through the end of the month, first part of September. We won't see any drastic improvement until we see some decent rainfall.